Today I'm going to show you the gMath add-on for Google Docs and Google Sheets. One of the biggest features that a lot of people wanted in Google Docs was a in-depth mathematical equation editor. While that they do have a very it does have lower quality than what you might find in Microsoft Word. We also remember that Google Docs is about collaboration, about connecting, it's about ease of use, and the fact that you don't have to pay for any of the updates that come to it. One of the updates are add-ons. Add-ons allow us to add functionality to Google Docs. And gMath is one of these add-ons we can add. So to add it, you go up to the Add-ons tab, then go down to Get Add-ons, and you're going to look for gMath. Now you can just scroll through and find there's a lot of great add-ons, and actually here it is right here. I can also search for it up here. And then you would see, plus free. I already installed it, so now it says Manage. So after you install, it's going to take a little bit of time. You'll see Install. Then to run it, you just go back up to Add-ons and you select it. With gMath, you get three options to begin with in a Google Doc. You get Math Expressions, Graph, and Statistical Display. So let's select Math Expressions. So I select it, and the window pops up over here on the right. And now I have my equation editor. I see the preview, and then I can insert it. I can also edit an equation I previously used. So let's go into my sheet here. Let's insert the equation that's already here. If I wanted to, I could actually go through and change things. So maybe instead of a 2, maybe we'll put a 5. I can change the 3 to a 2, and now I can see how my equation changed. I can even change the x, and maybe instead I want to use y. I can now insert this. And so you see how I can insert it. I can easily select and delete former equations. I can go down, and I can even select a new format. So let's clear out the box, and I can see that I have these formatting options already available. So if I want to add this fraction, now I can select, maybe instead of A, I'm looking at X, instead of B, maybe I'm looking at Y. Now I can see what it looks like. If I'm happy, I click Insert. But let's say I find out later on, I go back, I want to change that equation. To do that, you just select the equation. I can't change it right now inside of it. Instead, what I'm going to do is do Edit from Doc. It's going to pull that equation back here, and now I can change it. Click Insert, and now it's changed. So I can update it as I go along. So while there are a lot of formatting options here, you may find one that you don't have, although this should be a lot of what you need. You can go through and look for other latex codes to put into here. Some are available, some do work, not all do, based on the program that's running, but some of them will work in here. So you see I can easily insert equations and stuff like that. If you want to learn more about latex codes, you can learn how to write your own. There are a lot of resources out there. But for students, this will be very easy for most of what students are doing. Now you can also go to gMath add-on, and we can create a graph. So to switch to the graphing side, I have to go back to add-ons, and I select gMath. And you can see that I get similar things here. I get some pre-formatted options. I have my latex box here. I can graph a region. I can zoom in on that. I can also plot points. If I go down here, you have those pre-made. I can also add optionals. I can plot 0 points with it. I can get the points from the table. And then with that, I have some other options here. So you have some options to play with. So let's say I'm going to delete this. I'm going to want to insert something. Let's say I want to graph just y equals 2. And I'm going to go through. I'm going to actually delete my previous equation. Let's delete some of the stuff I've already worked on, so I get a clear area to work. Let's just try inserting this. So the simple graph of y equals 2, you can see how that looks. I can see the maxes and mins for my graph here. If I want to, I could also add something. If I plot some points. Maybe I also want to plot some points. I have that option. So you can start plotting some points with that and get points from a table too if you had a table inserted here. So you have a lot of options in order to graph, and again, just like before, I can edit from the document. So once it's in there, I can also edit it. The other part of the gMath add-on for Docs is a statistical display. This is kind of a newer one to me, but pretty much you're able to create histograms, bar charts, and box and whisker plots. If you want to look for more information on that, the website of the creator of gMath has a lot of good information about that in some other scripts, and so you can see what you can do there. That's linked under there, but it's also mathtechtips.blogspot.com. Well, that was gMath for Docs. A different add-on is gMath for Sheets. To get it, again, you go to Add-ons, Get Add-ons, and find gMath for Sheets. Now here I can do just like before, create math expressions, create a graph or statistical display, but I also have a quick quiz creator. So what I can do is I can go in here and set up some questions that I'm going to use for a quiz. So let's go select that. You need questions you want to use. So you'd have to have your questions set up in here. Question 1, question 2. You can have the options available, but you'll also be able to edit those. What this is going to allow you to do is pretty much is going to insert those images of your graphs or your expressions into the question so you can use that. So if I wanted to, let's go back. We'll go gMath, we'll create a graph. Let's say I'm going to insert this graph, the one they already have here, into this cell. Then I go back, and let's say I'm just going to make this one question quiz, or a formative assessment really. Create a form. Select the range of questions, and then we proceed. Form title, we'll just call it gMath test. So we're going to do a test run of this. And so you're going to get a nice little message here saying it's working. And then when it's done, you're going to be able to open a form and then edit just like that. So this is an easy way you can easily add in mathematical expressions and graphs and stuff into a form. And so you're able to use that. Now again, it's going to take time depending on how many questions you have and how much you set it up. So it's probably not going to be something you want to do right before a class. But the day before, a couple days before you're setting this up, you easily have the form ready to use. Sorry, I made a quick little mistake when I did this. You need to highlight the questions that you want to be in the form. Always click the preview button, then click proceed, and it'll give you that form. So if I create the form, it's then going to now, you see I have this graph is going to be for one question. I put this equation for another question, and it says I created it, so I'm going to grab that link, just highlight it, Command-C to copy. Then I'm going to open a new tab and put that in there. So now I'm going to be able to see the form that was just created. And it's going to pretty much, all it's doing is taking a picture of that mathematical expression or graph from the sheet, but putting it into a question. And now I can edit it just like I would any other question. So I can even make this multiple choice, short answer. I could put matching if I want to. I could say now rewrite the equation. Granted, they're not going to have a way to insert their own mathematical equations into that, but there's some that you can play around with on how you have students answer questions. So this is a very simple way to create a formative assessment using the gMath tool. So that's the added feature that Sheets has that Google Docs does not. Remember that once you install the add-on, it's available throughout. So if I add it to one Google Doc, it's available in all the Google Docs. But I have to add it again to Sheet to make it available to all the sheets. So gMath add-on give you a lot of features. Again, you have questions. Math Tech Tips blog post. You'll see the creator of it. He constantly is adding stuff to it and showing you how the features are improving and what's changed.